Hi guys. Today we're going to be working on page 253 and 254. The title of our lesson is Using Precise Words. Let's look at the top of the page. Have you ever read instructions that were not clear? I'm sure many of you have. Instead of answering questions, unclear instructions create more questions. One of the main reasons that instructions are unclear is that they do not use precise or exact words. Here's an example of instructions that are not worded precisely. Put the brownie mix in a container. Add water, oil, and an egg. Put in a baking pan. Bake in a hot oven for a long time. Okay, so what type and size of container should I put the ingredients in? How much water and oil should I add? Should I mix the ingredients? What type and size of pan should I bake the brownies in? At what temperature should I bake the brownies, and for exactly how long? These are all legit questions that somebody could have because the directions up above in the purple section don't really answer these questions. These are a few of the questions that the reader of these instructions might ask. Now let's read these revised instructions right here in the middle of our page. Do they answer the questions? Let's see. Empty the package of brownie mix into a large bowl. Add 1/2 cup of oil, 1/2 cup of water, and 1 egg. Stir until all the ingredients are moistened. Pour the mixture into a greased 8-inch square pan. Bake at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. The revised instructions give way more details. They also use more precise words. Notice the contrast in these words used. Let's look at this little chart at the bottom. The first thing said, put the brownie mix. Well, next to the instructions, we have empty the package of brownie mix. This is more precise. This is clearer. It's a lot easier to understand and understand exactly what you need to do. Let's look at the next one. In a container. Put the brownie mix in a container. Well, right here it said, empty the package of brownie mix into a large bowl. So instead of saying into a container, they were more precise. They put into a large bowl. Well, let's go further. Put the brownie mix in a container, water, oil, and an egg. Well, right here it says in the more precise wording, it says empty the package of brownie mix into a large bowl, 1/2 cup of oil, 1/2 cup of water, and 1 egg. Way clearer. This person doesn't have to wonder at all how much of the oil, water, or how many eggs is needed. Let's look at this one. Put in baking pan. Well, right here, they were way more precise. Pour the mixture into a greased 8-inch square pan. The next one says, bake in a hot oven. Well, how many degrees? I mean, what's the temperature we should turn the oven to? Well, right here it says bake at 350 degrees. Way more precise. And the very last thing says for a long time. This says in the side that gives more details, it says for 25 minutes. So right here on this left side, the person has given instructions, but it's been very vague, not clear instructions. But here on the right side, I'm going to highlight that in orange. This section gives way more precise instructions. Sometimes the thesaurus, and you guys know what that is. We drew a picture of Mr. Thesaurus at the beginning of the year. Sometimes the thesaurus can help you find precise words to use in place of a less precise word. In writing instructions, it is especially important that you use precise words because somebody is reading your instructions and they need to understand what they need to do. Look at words such as do, go, put, and say. What precise words could you use instead of these words? Okay, so that's an uh, something that you can do on your own, but we're going to flip the paper over. In this independent practice page on page 254, you're going to rewrite these sentences using more precise words. Let's go back, using more precise verbs. And what is a verb? It shows action. So right here where it says break, you're going to use a more precise word. So you're going to go to the thesaurus, and where can you find a thesaurus? You can look it up online, look up thesaurus, and you can type in the word break, and it'll give you a whole list of words that mean the same thing, and these are synonyms. So it'll give you synonyms that mean the same thing as break. So instead of saying break the graham crackers, and instead of saying put, you're going to look up a more precise word in the thesaurus also for put them in the bottom of the cake pan. So these two highlighted words right here, you're going to change these and look for better words. Number 2, you're going to replace the word hold. It says hold the horn on the horse's saddle and lift your leg into the stirrup. The next word that you're going to look up is lift. Okay, so you're going to change that word into a more precise word. Number 3, instead of using the word cut the carrots, and instead of saying mix them with the other vegetables, you're going to use a different word that you can find on the thesaurus. And number 4, after you hit, you're going to change this verb right here, the ball, and you're also, boy, this is kind of a boring little word right here, go. You can come up with a much more exciting or interesting word to use instead of go to first base at top speed. Okay, and number 5, when you find, you're going to replace the word find, the other team's flag, take. So these are the words that you are going to replace. I look forward to seeing what you guys can come up with. But before I end this session right here, we're going to look at the bottom. It says, add more details to these sentences to make them more precise. Okay, so tie a button onto a string. You could come up with something a lot more interesting, like by just putting a little bit more details. What if you said, tie a large button onto a thin string or something like that. So you can be creative. And then right here, number 7, make a hole in the ground. You can make this a little bit more exciting also. What size hole? In what kind of ground? So anyway, if you guys have any questions, just send me a message and I will try to get back to you. And I hope you have a great Monday. Bye-bye.